All right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive. And today, things are getting a little shady.
A little shady. I'd say downright sneaky.
Okay, yeah, sneaky shady. We're talking scams.
And not just any scams.
We're going deep on a classic, and, well, it's one that a lot of people think they're too smart to fall for.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's the dropped wallet scam.
Uh-huh.
So let's break this down. First of all, for anyone who's never heard of this, what is the dropped wallet scam?
Well, imagine you're walking down the street, just going about your day, and you see a wallet on the ground.
Okay, I've definitely been there.
Right. It happens, and maybe there's even like some cash sticking out.
Ooh, tempting.
And you're thinking finders keepers, right?
Well, no, not really, but I'd probably try to find the owner, do the right thing.
Yeah. Most people would, and that's where the scam comes in.
Okay, I'm already sensing a butt here.
Big time. Big time. Because suddenly the owner appears looking all flustered and panicked.
Oh.
Right, and they're so relieved that you found their wallet. They're showering you with gratitude, maybe even offering you a reward.
Oh, so they're playing the victim card.
Playing it like a pro. But here's the thing.
They're not actually the owner.
Nope. It's all an act, a carefully crafted performance designed to lower your guard.
Wow, so it's all about manipulation.
It is. They're using psychology against you, specifically something called the reciprocity principle.
Reciprocity principle. Yeah, okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, it's this deeply ingrained social norm that basically says if someone does something nice for us, we feel obligated to return the favor.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So in this scenario, by offering you a reward, they're triggering that sense of obligation.
So they're like, oh, you found my wallet, let me give you some money. And I'm like, well, now I have to help them even more.
Exactly. They're creating a debt, even if it's just a perceived one, and suddenly you're not just a good Samaritan, you're in their debt.
Oh, wow. That's pretty devious when you think about it.
It is. They're basically hacking our brains to get what they want.
So they've got you feeling obligated. You're probably distracted thinking about that reward. What happens next?
Well, there are a few variations of the scam, but they all share the same goal: to exploit your kindness and get something from you, whether it's money, information, or even access to your belongings.
Wait, hold on. Access to my belongings. You're making this sound way more sinister than just a lost wallet.
Oh, it could be way more sinister. Let me tell you about the accomplice variation.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You're standing there, distracted, caught up in the drama of finding the wallet, and their partner, lurking nearby, is subtly picking your pocket.
Whoa. Okay, that's next level. So not only do they get to play the victim, they also get to rob you blind while they're at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it works because they've successfully distracted you and gained your trust. You're focused on returning the wallet, not on protecting your own stuff.
It's classic bait and switch.
See, this is why I need you on these deep dives. I never would have thought of that.
Glad to be of service. But, we also have some information from ChatGPT too, right?
Yeah, it mentioned some other variations like fake wallets and even a thank you scam. Right, so with a fake wallet, it's exactly what it sounds like. The wallet's either empty or full of junk, fake cash-expired IDs, things like that. The scammer might even claim they need cash to get home and ask to borrow some from you.
Oh, so even if you don't fall for the reward trick, you could still end up feeling like a fool and out some cash.
Exactly. And then there's the thank you scam, where instead of a reward, they offer you a gift as a token of their gratitude.
Like what, a watch or something?
Yeah, maybe a watch, some jewelry, something that seems valuable, but of course it's a cheap knockoff, practically worthless again, playing on your good nature.
This is getting scary. They really have an answer for every scenario.
That's why it's so important to be aware of how these scams work.
Yeah.
It's not just about protecting your wallet, it's about protecting yourself from being manipulated.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we avoid falling into these traps?
Well, let's talk about that. After a quick break, we'll be right back with some practical tips on how to stay safe and avoid becoming a victim of the dropped wallet scam.
Sounds good.
So how do we protect ourselves?
Yeah. Spill the beans. What are the secrets?
Well, the good news is awareness is your best defense.
Okay, so knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. The more you know about how these scams work, the less likely you are to fall for them.
So what should we be looking out for? What are the red flags?
Well, first and foremost, if someone approaches you claiming you found their wallet, be skeptical, especially if they're like super effusive with their gratitude or immediately offer a reward.
Yeah, like a little too eager.
Right. Because genuine people are usually more concerned with just getting their stuff back.
Okay, that makes sense.
And pay attention to their body language too. Are they too pushy, too rehearsed? Do their emotions seem genuine?
Oh, so like trust your gut.
Exactly. If something feels off, It probably is.
Okay, so trust your gut, be skeptical. What else? What if we actually find a wallet on the ground? What's the best course of action?
In that case, avoid engaging with anyone who claims it's theirs.
Okay, don't even talk to them.
Nope. Instead, turn it over to a trusted authority figure like a store employee, a security guard, or a police officer.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let them handle it. It's much safer that way.
Okay, so avoid engagement, turn it over to the authorities. Got it. What about that reward tactic, though? How do we resist that urge to accept when someone's practically begging us to take money?
Well, this is where understanding the reciprocity principle really comes in handy.
Right, that feeling of obligation.
Exactly. You have to remind yourself that you haven't actually done anything that warrants a reward. You simply found a lost item.
So even if they're like, please take this, I insist.
Nope. Politely decline and explain that you are happy to help.
And if they keep pushing it.
That's a major red flag.
Okay, noted. Decline the reward no matter what.
And remember, distractions are a scammer's best friend.
Ooh, yeah, like what?
They might try to move you to a different location or create a sense of urgency or chaos.
Oh, so like get you flustered.
Exactly. It's all about throwing you off balance and making you more susceptible to their schemes.
It's like they're playing mind games with you.
They're masters of manipulation.
Hmm.
But speaking of mind games, ChatGPT also mentioned something about the psychology behind these scams and how they exploit our brains.
Oh, yeah. It's fascinating and a little creepy how they tap into our like deepest instincts.
It is one of the key principles at play here is something called the framing effect.
Framing effect. Okay, I'm listening.
Well, it basically means that the way information is presented to us influences how we perceive and react to it.
Okay, so how does that apply to the dropped wallet scam?
Think about it. The scammer frames the situation in a way that makes you feel like you're in control, like you're the one helping them.
Oh, I see.
They might say things like, you're a lifesaver,
Oh.
or I don't know what I would have done without you. This kind of language triggers that sense of responsibility and makes you more likely to go along with their requests.
So they're using language to manipulate us.
Absolutely. It's all about shaping your perception of the situation.
That's pretty sneaky. But what about the guilt or embarrassment people often feel after they realize they've been scammed? Is there a psychological reason for that too?
It's tied to our need to believe in a just world.
For just world.
Yeah, we like to think that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people.
Right.
So when we fall victim to a scam, it challenges that belief system. It makes us question our own judgment.
So it's not just about the money, it's about our whole worldview being shaken up.
Exactly. It can be a really unsettling experience.
Yeah, for sure. But I think talking about it openly and honestly, like we're doing now, can help.
I agree. The more we understand about the psychology behind these scams, the better we can protect ourselves.
Okay, so we've talked about the mechanics of the scam, the red flags, the psychologies. What are some of the key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Well, I think the most important thing is to remember that scams are everywhere. They can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime.
So we can't let our guard down, even in seemingly harmless situations.
Right. And we can't assume that we're immune to these tactics just because we're smart or savvy.
These scammers are professional.
They are. They know what they're doing.
So vigilance is key. What else?
Knowledge is power. The more you understand about how these scams work, the better equipped you are to spot them and avoid becoming a victim.
So we've got to stay informed and be aware of our surroundings.
Exactly. And don't forget to trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, sometimes we ignore that inner voice, but it's usually right.
It is. And remember, if you do encounter a scam, don't be ashamed or embarrassed. It happens to the best of us. The important thing is to report it to the authorities so they can try to stop it from happening to someone else.
Right, because reporting it helps raise awareness and puts pressure on law enforcement to actually do something.
Exactly. And remember, this dropped wallet scam is just one of many. There are so many other scams out there, both online and offline.
It's like they're everywhere.
They are targeting everything from our bank accounts to our personal information.
So it's not just about being careful with our wallets, it's about protecting our whole digital lives, too.
Absolutely. It's about being vigilant in all aspects of our lives.
So the lessons we've learned today apply to all sorts of scams, not just the dropped wallet one.
Exactly. It's about having that critical thinking mindset, being aware of the tactics scammers use.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
I say the most important takeaway is this. You're not alone. Scams are a global problem affecting millions of people every year.
It's easy to feel like we're the only ones who fall for these things.
But that's exactly what the scammers want you to think. They thrive on secrecy and shame.
So what can we do about it?
Well, by understanding how these scams work and by being proactive in protecting ourselves, we can make a difference.
We can empower ourselves and each other.
Exactly. And remember, if you ever have any doubts or questions, don't hesitate to reach out to a trusted source for information.
There are resources out there to help.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Well, on that note, I think we've successfully navigated the murky world of the dropped wallet scam. Hopefully, our listeners are feeling a little more prepared and a lot less vulnerable.
I hope so. Remember, stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, trust your instincts.
And with that, we'll leave you with this thought. What other scams are lurking out there, waiting to trick us? Do some digging, share your findings, and hey, maybe we'll deep dive into them in a future episode. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and don't let those scammers get the best of you.